Nobody expected it, not Rasheeda, not the fans, and definitely not Kirk. But leave it to Karlie Redd to throw a grenade and walk away with a smile. In a move that's sending shockwaves across Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Karlie Redd just leaked explosive footage of Kirk Frost that has left Rasheeda absolutely shattered. The video? A secret recording that allegedly shows Kirk in a compromising situation with a woman who is definitely not Rasheeda. And what's worse? It was filmed during the time he swore he was rebuilding trust. As soon as the clip hit social media, chaos erupted. Fans went wild. Cast members were stunned. And Rasheeda? She reportedly collapsed on set after watching only 15 seconds. "I can't do this again," she sobbed. I believed him. The betrayal, the humiliation, the setup, it's all coming to light. And the question everyone's asking is, why would Karlie do this now? Was it revenge? Ratings? Or something way deeper? What we know for sure is this: Rasheeda's world is crashing, and the Frost family secret is out. This isn't just a cheating scandal. This is a career-ending, marriage imploding, soul-crushing betrayal caught on tape, and it's only the beginning. The cameras weren't even rolling when it happened, but the aftermath? It was too explosive to ignore. It all began during what should have been a calm promotional brunch for the new Love and Hip Hop ATL season. Rasheeda was glowing, smiling, trying to present the image of a healed woman, a mended marriage, and a future she had fought like hell to rebuild. Kirk was beside her, low-key as always, nodding along, playing the changed man role perfectly. But in the corner of the room, sipping her drink like a villain in a telenovela, Karlie Redd was plotting a moment that would destroy it all, and she timed it perfectly. Out of nowhere, Karlie stood up, lifted her phone, and waved it in the air. "Y'all fake as hell," she said, loud enough for the entire table to go silent. "Rasheeda, you still believe this man is loyal? 'Cause I got something y'all need to see." Phones immediately whipped out, and the energy in the room flipped. Rasheeda tried to laugh it off. She thought it was just Karlie being messy, until Karlie pressed play. What everyone heard was unmistakable. Kirk's voice, moaning, whispering, begging. And another woman's giggle in the background. The room gasped. Rasheeda's fork dropped. The color drained from her face. And before anyone could hit pause, a short video started playing Kirk shirtless, laying in a dimly lit room, whispering into the camera, "You gon' keep this just for you, right?" The woman's face wasn't fully visible, but her body was. And it sure as hell wasn't Rasheeda. The chaos was instant. Producers tried to intervene. Karlie refused to hand over the phone. Rasheeda stood up, shaking, her voice cracking as she shouted, "Turn that off!" But it was too late. Every single person at that brunch had just watched the moment her heart broke on a phone screen, in 4K, with her husband exposed for the liar he swore he no longer was. Rasheeda stormed out, collapsing into her car, and reportedly sobbing uncontrollably for nearly 45 minutes. A source close to production revealed she had to be sedated by medics. "She was hysterical," the insider said. She kept saying, "How could he do this to me again? How did she even get that footage?" And that was the million-dollar question. How did Karlie Redd get her hands on that tape? Well, according to Karlie, it came from the woman herself. In a petty IG post the same night, Karlie wrote, "Y'all better ask the side chick who slid in my DMs. Don't blame me, I just press play." The internet lost it. Fans split into two camps: Team Rasheeda, heartbroken for the First Lady of ATL, and Team Karlie, who argued that if Rasheeda was being lied to again, she deserved to know. But one thing was clear: nobody was on Team Kirk. The man who'd spent years rebuilding his image after cheating scandals and secret babies was now exposed once again. This time by his own arrogance. Filming a video? Sending voice notes? To someone bold enough to forward it to his wife's frenemy. It wasn't just betrayal, it was stupidity. And Rasheeda? She went dark. No posts, no stories, no updates. Her team issued a statement claiming she was processing privately, but insiders say she's completely devastated. "This wasn't just cheating," said one source. This was emotional abuse, public humiliation. She had finally started trusting him again, and he let her walk blind into a war zone. 2 days after the brunch disaster, Atlanta was still buzzing. The Love and Hip Hop set had shut down. Production staff were scrambling, and Rasheeda? She still hadn't left the house. According to close sources, she wasn't answering calls from VH1, her glam team, or even her own mama. She was shattered. Fans had seen Rasheeda power through scandal before: Jasmine, baby rumors, cheating, betrayal, but this was different. This was video evidence, leaked by someone she once stood beside on red carpets. And worse, she didn't even know how far the footage went. If that's what Karlie posted, one insider whispered, just imagine what else she's got. Meanwhile, Karlie Red was acting like she had no regrets. She posted a selfie with a smirk and the caption, "When they lie to your face, give the world the receipts." The comments exploded. Some praised her for holding men accountable. Others dragged her for being a snake who weaponizes women's pain for clout. But Karlie was unbothered. She had gone silent for years about Kirk's antics. But now, she was ready to spill everything. Within 24 hours, a second clip surfaced, leaked by an anonymous source, but everyone knew it was Karlie. This one showed Kirk FaceTiming the same woman from the first tape, telling her he can't wait to sneak away again. The timestamp? Just 2 months before Rasheeda's birthday, during the exact week he threw her a surprise party. Fans were livid. The betrayal wasn't just physical, it was psychological warfare. He had her blowing out candles while planning to blow someone else's back out, one viral tweet said. Producers from the show begged Rasheeda to film a response scene. She refused. Instead, she stayed locked in her Buckhead home, surrounded by her sisters and her son. She's reliving everything from Jasmine all over again, one family member shared. And honestly, so did the fans. Kirk had kept a low profile since the Jasmine scandal. No drama, no new kids, no public slip-ups. Rasheeda even started rebuilding her image as a businesswoman, launching boutiques, hosting panels, rebranding herself as a boss who had weathered the storm. But now, all of that came crashing down with one notification, one video, one giggle, one betrayal too many. Back at VH1, the executive producers were debating how to spin it. Should they protect Rasheeda's privacy? Should they turn it into a full arc? Was she even going to come back? Ratings had already doubled from Karlie's footage alone, but the emotional cost, immeasurable. Still, producers began building a storyline around the leak. And according to leaked texts, between Karlie and another cast member, she had more footage saved on a password-protected drive. Meanwhile, Kirk had the audacity to deny everything. In a rushed and poorly lit Instagram Live, he mumbled something about deepfakes and old footage. He claimed Karlie was trying to get attention, and the video was from years ago. But fans weren't buying it. The background in the FaceTime? The same decor as a hotel he had tagged just last year. The shirt he was wearing, from his current clothing line, launched only 6 months ago. The lie was sloppy. The damage was done. Tamar Braxton even chimed in. Rasheeda, girl, you don't deserve this. Period. She wasn't alone. Celebs and fans across platforms began flooding Rasheeda's comments even though she hadn't posted since the leak. One comment racked up over 50,000 likes. You gave that man grace, and he handed you a grenade. By day 4, Rasheeda finally broke her silence. But not in a typical post. She uploaded a blank black screen with one chilling caption. I let too much slide. I'm not doing that anymore. No tags, no names, no explanations. But everyone knew exactly who it was for. By the end of the week, Rasheeda's black screen post had become a viral cry for justice and a warning shot aimed straight at Kirk Frost. She didn't need to name him. Everyone knew who the grenade was for, and just like that, the narrative shifted. Rasheeda wasn't just the betrayed wife anymore. She became a symbol for every woman who had stood by a man through lies, disrespect, and public shame, only to be hurt again. Social media was on fire. Posts from fans and influencers poured in, telling Rasheeda to leave Kirk for good this time. "You forgave him for Jasmine. You stood by him when everyone else told you not to, and this is how he repays you?" one user wrote. It wasn't just a storyline anymore, it was personal. Women saw themselves in Rasheeda, and that made the betrayal feel even deeper. Meanwhile, Karlie Red was still capitalizing on the mess she created. A week after dropping the first 2 clips, she teased on Instagram stories that there were more surprises coming. That same day, a 3rd video leaked, this time showing Kirk inside what looked like a dressing room, on the phone with the same mystery woman, telling her, "You know I gotta play husband when I'm out here, but you got my heart." That quote alone made headlines across every gossip blog in America. The timing was brutal. It dropped the same night Rasheeda had been scheduled to speak at a women's empowerment panel in Atlanta, an event she canceled just hours before. Attendees were heartbroken. One influencer who was set to co-host said, "I've never seen Rasheeda this low. She built an empire off survival. But this? This is soul damage." Sources inside her circle said Rasheeda had started going through old footage of Kirk, trying to piece together the truth for herself. "She's been re-watching everything, every past interview, every phone log, every timeline," said a friend. "It's like she's doing detective work on her own marriage, just to figure out when the lies started again. And what she found only made things worse." Allegedly, the woman in the tape wasn't new, she had been around for years. Rasheeda remembered seeing her at a Frost Bistro soft launch party over a year ago. "She was just another face in the crowd," she reportedly told her friend. "I had no idea she was sleeping with my husband." Then came the final straw. A leaked text thread between Karlie Red and the mystery woman. In it, the woman claimed Kirk promised to leave Rasheeda for her, and even offered to move her into a condo once the show calmed down. It was a bombshell revelation that showed Kirk wasn't just cheating, he was plotting a future behind Rasheeda's back. Tamar Braxton jumped back into the conversation, tweeting, "You can forgive a mistake, but you can't heal where manipulation lives. Rasheeda, baby, don't stay this time." That tweet went instantly viral. Even Love and Hip Hop castmates were starting to pick sides. Spice reposted a clip of Rasheeda crying from a past reunion show and captioned it, "She been strong for too long." Bambi commented with praying hands. Even Mama D got in the mix, commenting, "If you need receipts on men pretending to be faithful, just ask me." The shade was unreal, and Kirk was nowhere to be found. Producers were panicking. Kirk had gone off the grid, no filming, no interviews, no statements. And without him, the storyline was lopsided. But the truth was, nobody wanted to see him anymore. All eyes were on Rasheeda. What would she do next? Would she walk away from the marriage? Or would she, like so many times before, try to piece together a broken man with glue made from faith and public image? That question hovered in the air like smoke. Until Rasheeda made one final move and it shocked everyone. Rasheeda walked into Frost Bistro alone and all eyes followed. There were no cameras, no PR team, no VH1 staffers, just Rasheeda, dressed in all black, face bare, hair pulled back like a warrior who had no more time for distractions. Guests dining that afternoon didn't dare approach her, but they couldn't stop watching. She walked straight to the private office, locked the door, and for the next 2 hours, the fate of her marriage was decided. Because inside that office, Kirk Frost was waiting. Rumors swirled that it was the first time they had been face to face since Karlie leaked the tapes. And what happened next? Well, the walls were thick, but not thick enough. Staff inside the restaurant told reporters they could hear screaming. Not from Kirk, from Rasheeda. Full voice, no filter, no fear. One witness said they heard her yell, "You lied to me. You embarrassed me. And you did it again like it was nothing." Another employee allegedly heard her say, "You sat there and watched me defend you, while you were out here filming sex tapes with randoms like you single." Kirk, for once, had nothing to say. When Rasheeda finally emerged, her face was streaked with tears, but she held her head high. She didn't speak to anyone, She didn't look back. She got in her black SUV and drove off. Kirk, however, stayed behind for another hour. Security had to eventually escort him out the back door to avoid reporters and fans who had gathered out front. It was official, the Rasheeda and Kirk brand was crumbling, and Atlanta was watching in real time. That same night, Rasheeda finally went live, just her phone, and the truth. "I've been quiet, too quiet, and now, y'all gon' get the real." Her voice cracked, but she didn't stop. "I gave that man everything, my youth, my loyalty, my forgiveness, and what did I get? Lies, public humiliation, betrayal. Again." She took a breath and stared into the camera. "I'm not covering for nobody no more. This ain't love and hip-hop. This is my life. And I'm done letting someone play with it like it's a storyline." Tears ran down her cheeks, but she kept going. "He told me he changed. He swore he changed. And I believed him. I believed him because I wanted my family. I wanted our legacy. But you can't build a future with someone who keeps hiding skeletons in every closet." The internet exploded. The live hit over 1.2 million views in under 24 hours. Clips of her speech were reposted by blogs, influencers, and even celebrities outside the franchise. Cardi B commented, "Real, recognize real. You did not deserve this." Tammy Roman tweeted, "I've been where she is, and it hurts like hell." But the most viral moment came when Rasheeda, voice trembling, said, "You ever loved someone so hard you forgot to love yourself? That's where I've been. But today, I'm coming home to me." And just like that, the narrative was sealed. Kirk didn't respond. He didn't even try. Word on the street was he had been locked out of their shared Buckhead home and had moved into a hotel near the airport. Some say he was trying to lay low. Others say he was still texting the same woman from the tapes. Either way, Rasheeda was no longer looking back. Karlie Red, on the other hand, doubled down. In a new story she posted, "I ain't ruined that relationship. I exposed what was already broken." Then she shared a clip of an old reunion episode where Rasheeda defended Kirk against cheating rumors, her voice shaky, her eyes already tired. Fans were quick to stitch that clip with scenes from Rasheeda's recent live, saying, "She should have been done years ago." But we all know love don't listen when it's hurting. Back at VH1, the energy had changed. Producers began reshaping the season around Rasheeda's truth. She hadn't confirmed if she'd return, but sources say they were ready to cut Kirk's storyline entirely if she walked away. After all, it wasn't his redemption arc anymore, it was her survival story. And with every post, every tear, every raw confession, Rasheeda wasn't just surviving, she was finally reclaiming her life. 2 weeks later, the woman from the tape came forward, and the truth was worse than Rasheeda imagined. Her name was Maya. Not a celeb, not a public figure, just a 27-year-old woman from Decatur with a story that would blow the lid off the remaining cracks in the Frost marriage. In a no-holds-barred podcast interview, Maya detailed her 2-year situationship with Kirk Frost, one that included secret hotel meetups, lavish gifts, and most disturbingly, intimate recordings made with his full consent. He knew the camera was rolling. He looked right at it. And he sent the video to me the next day like it was a flex. That quote alone sent Twitter into meltdown. But Maya wasn't finished. He told me Rasheeda was just for the show. That they were business partners, not lovers. He said they had separate rooms, separate lives. But in public, they had to pretend. Fans were stunned. Not only had Kirk allegedly cheated again, he'd been gaslighting Rasheeda into thinking they were healed while maintaining a whole shadow relationship. And now, his side chick was holding interviews, exposing every intimate lie he whispered behind closed doors. Karlie Red reposted the clip with the caption, "Told y'all, I didn't ruin nothing. He been dirty." By this point, Rasheeda was no longer silent, she was strategic. Instead of another emotional breakdown, she began meeting with attorneys, family advisors, and business consultants. The goal? Separate her life from Kirk's as quietly and quickly as possible. According to insiders, she began removing Kirk's name from Frost Bistro contracts, took down co-owned social media pages, and even instructed staff not to forward Kirk any internal business updates. She's locking him out of everything, a close friend revealed. This isn't just a breakup. It's an eviction from her empire. And as Rasheeda pulled away, Kirk doubled down on the lies. In a leaked audio recording from a call with a friend, Kirk claimed, "Rasheeda's overreacting. We weren't even together like that. It was complicated." Fans immediately called out the hypocrisy. One user posted side-by-side clips of Kirk proposing a vow renewal to Rasheeda just months earlier, alongside Maya's receipts showing hotel bookings under his name the same weekend. The caption read, "Sir, how was it complicated when you were renewing vows while renting rooms?" Even VH1 couldn't spin this one. Producers scrambled to frame the footage for the upcoming reunion special. They begged Rasheeda for an exclusive sit-down. She declined. Instead, she issued a public letter on her brand's official site titled, "For Every Woman Who's Ever Stayed Too Long." In it, she didn't name Kirk once, but her words sliced through every lie he had built. She wrote, "We all want love to last. We want the person we built with to grow with us. But sometimes, they grow in circles while we move forward. I stayed through things I shouldn't have. And I let the world think we were good when I was bleeding behind closed doors. That's over now. I choose me." The letter went viral. Celebs reposted it, magazines quoted it, therapy accounts called it required reading for any woman healing from emotional betrayal. The wave of support was overwhelming, but Rasheeda stayed quiet, focused, determined to finally rebuild, without the man who kept tearing everything down. Back at the Frost household, Kirk had packed up and moved into a condo on the outskirts of Atlanta. He remained quiet, only surfacing for cryptic stories about truth always coming to light and real ones staying silent. But no one was buying it. Every time he tried to speak, fans shut him down. "Let Rasheeda live," they commented. "You had your chance." Maya? She went back underground after the interview. Some speculated she was paid to disappear. Others said she was scared. But Rasheeda didn't care. She had stopped asking why. She had started building what was next. It was the season finale nobody saw coming, not even the producers. Instead of closing with a dramatic reunion fight or a fake apology, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta ended with something much more powerful. Rasheeda walking away, alone, on her own terms. No man by her side, no cameras following her into another heartbreak. Just Rasheeda walking out of Frost Bistro with the keys to her business and a new kind of freedom. Kirk Frost was officially out. Not just from the house, not just from the marriage, but from the brand, the image, the life Rasheeda built through years of grit, pain, and grace. Fans held their breath as the final shot faded to black. No voiceover, no recap, just silence and a title card that read, "For every woman who gave her all and still wasn't enough, this one's for you." Back in real life, Rasheeda had begun a full rebrand. New logos, new business accounts. She relaunched her boutique chain under her maiden name. She signed a book deal titled, Unfrosted, My Life After the Ice Broke. And she announced a new talk show in development, focusing on women reclaiming power after betrayal. She didn't just survive Kirk, she turned her pain into a platform. Meanwhile, Kirk tried to salvage what little reputation he had left. He did a podcast interview with a local ATL host and tried to spin the story. "I made mistakes, but I was never malicious. People forget I've been under pressure too." But the backlash was instant. Comment sections flamed him. Women called him a narcissist. Men called him careless. Even the host looked uncomfortable. The final blow came when Karlie leaked one last piece of footage, a voice memo of Kirk asking Maya, "If I had the choice, I'd pick you." The betrayal was complete. Karlie became a villain and a hero all at once. Some fans called her out for being messy. Others praised her for revealing the truth no one else had the guts to say out loud. But either way, she didn't care. She posted a simple message that said, "When you expose a cheater, you ain't messy. You're just louder than the lie." The clip of Rasheeda's final speech standing in front of her store, telling fans she was done loving people more than they love themselves, became the most shared moment in the franchise's history. Millions of women reposted it with their own stories. It wasn't just content anymore. It was a movement. VH1 confirmed Rasheeda would return next season, but on her own terms. Without Kirk. Without shame. Without pretending. Tamar Braxton offered to guest star. Cardi B said she'd promote her new book. Even Oprah's own network reached out for a potential special. Rasheeda wasn't broken. She was blooming. Alone. Empowered. Unfrosted. How many chances does a cheater get before it breaks you? Rasheeda gave Kirk loyalty, time, forgiveness, and he gave her betrayal. Again and again. But this time, she chose herself. If you've ever been played, gaslit, or made to feel like your love wasn't enough, this story is for you. Comment below with, if you've been in Rasheeda's shoes. Share your truth. Reclaim your voice. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and tell a friend to watch this until the end, because this isn't just a breakup, it's a rebirth. Number Rasheeda, number Kirk Frost, number Karlie Red, number Love and Hip Hop ATL, number Cheating Exposed, number Gaslighting, number Reclaim Your Power, number Frost No More, number Black Love Unfiltered, number Unfrosted the Story.